There's quite a bit of a difference when you look back at the sequel trilogy and you look at where we are right now with what John, Dave, and of course George are planning to do with the new Star Wars universe, the new Star Wars TV shows moving forward that will, by the way, be announced at D23 and Disney Plus Day this year. That's going to all happen by September and the entirety of the fall, alongside with the release dates of Tales of the Jedi and The Bad Batch Season 2. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that, yes, we have Star Wars Andor coming out on August 31st. That is something that a lot of people are A, either not looking forward to, or B, looking forward to as well. You know, it really seems to be divided right now on whether or not this show's even going to live up to The Mandalorian per se, but I digress. Everything related to The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, the Ahsoka Tano series, and more to arrive in 2023 is what the fans are looking forward to the most for starters, because that's all going to be 100%, no obstacles in between, done by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and of course George Lucas. Now, yes, they had a lot of creative power over Mando 2, and that was the very beginning of it all. The Book of Boba Fett was kind of on and off a little bit, along with Kenobi, but now things are beginning to roll. So that brings us to exactly what's been going on with Kathleen Kennedy behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm, and exactly what's been going on also with the Disney executives. Now, we already know that Bob Chapek is currently planning to be the one to announce a lot of the new Star Wars shows at D23. He's going to be unveiling a lot of that. And also, we have Disney Plus Day, so that's another thing to look forward to as well. He's also going to be there, and everything really is beginning to fall into place. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now getting ready to announce a host of new Star Wars TV shows at this year's D23 and Disney Plus Day, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have also been working on big revelations to be used in The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4. However, one major plan that Disney executives are moving forward with right now is to end Kathleen Kennedy's contract earlier than 2024 to replace her with someone else that they already have mapped out for. Specifically, executives have a strategy put in place that they will be replacing Kathleen Kennedy during the 2023 year to replace her with George Lucas, temporarily speaking, where the permanent solution and fill-in is set to be decided on sometime after, who are very big Star Wars fans. This is going to be between Jon Favreau and two other mysterious big-time Hollywood producers. Now, the reason why this plan never happened in 2021 or 22 is that nobody held an interest in taking over Lucasfilm at, of course, the moment, as Disney kept trying to get somebody to replace Kathleen Kennedy in the process. So far, Kathleen Kennedy is already aware about this plan by Disney and has been, and is the main reason as to why she has been creating her own new studio behind the scenes called Starlight Productions, that is going to be the home of a new sci-fi movie studio with sci-fi shows as well that will compete against Star Wars, something that Disney is not very happy about and is said to also be giving them a more legitimate reason to let her go from the company of Lucasfilm. Disney had already told Kathleen Kennedy to not actually pursue making her own studio that would eventually compete against Star Wars in the case she gets fired or quits. Now, let me just pause here, because you can see how Kathleen Kennedy essentially pursued something, and that in and of itself kind of turned on her. So she always figured that Disney was behind the scenes, talking about getting somebody else on board, because she knew about her failures. She knew what she was, kind of failing with when it came to Star Wars. So this is when she began to make her own studio, her own company, if you will, that started last year, maybe like a year and a half ago, more so. And that, of course, the main reason right then and there is exactly why Disney now has a legitimate reason to get rid of her, because she's pursuing to actually eventually make her own company that's going to compete against Star Wars. And that really does give them an actual reason to let her go now. So it's almost like Kathleen Kennedy saw something as a solution that's no longer a solution. It's only going to make things worse for her. So further, alright, Now, this is said to be Kennedy's plan to keep her legacy alive as well, and Lucas has been very excited to temporarily act as president of Lucasfilm by 2023. It's unclear how long he will be acting as president, but it is moving forward and it is in the works. Favreau, however, has been having a very tough time trying to decide if he wants to take the permanent offer, because he actually loves making the Star Wars shows with Filoni to achieve the fans' dreams. Now, about that, alright, Favreau has said this before in the past, he absolutely just loves making these Star Wars TV shows, he loves working with Filoni, he absolutely, just feels this great energy when he gets to fulfill a happiness within the Star Wars fandom and the entire community. And I don't think anything can take that away. I don't think anything can replace that, I should say. If you become president of Lucasfilm, sure, you're going to have a lot of control over these projects, but you're not really going to be making them directly, like, in depth. Kind of like, yes, I know Kathleen Kennedy has a lot of creative control over the Acolyte and stuff like that, but she's not really writing the script, line by line. She's not doing that. She just has a lot of creative power, is all. So, if anything, if Jon Favreau did take that offer, he could still be creatively involved. It would just be heavily limited and somebody else would have to be a writer. So I don't think it would really work. So that's why I always kept saying I never really thought that Jon Favreau would become a president of Lucasfilm, but who knows. But on top of all of this, alright, this is where things begin to escalate, is that this is why it is looking likely that it will point to these two characters, these two, of course, big-time Hollywood producers that are going to be working on a lot of other characters as well in the Hollywood sphere, if you will. Alright, so we're not quite sure who they are, but they are working with these big-name characters already. I don't know, is it somebody from Marvel? Is it somebody from a different franchise? We're not quite sure just yet. But Bob Chapek has also had enough of Kathleen Kennedy creating problems behind the scenes with The Acolyte and other Star Wars shows like Skeleton Crew, which may drive a lot of fans away, which is also giving them all the more reason to let Kennedy go from the company. This has been something that Chapek has been trying to do since he took over, however fell into many obstacles, with the fact that nobody wanted to take over Lucasfilm as president after seeing what happened with the sequels and how the fans reacted. Now, let alone anybody who was even a Star Wars fan, was very hard to come by. It's now up to Jon and the two producers to eventually take over permanently. It's just a matter of who wants to decide on that. Now, of course, Disney is giving them until this November to make that decision, and a lot of that's going to be put into place in early 2023. So we're going to be hearing a lot about this in the next couple of months, and I think that at the end of the day, everything related to what Bob Chapek has been doing, this is the guy, by the way, that is allowing Jon and Dave to do as they please with Mando Season 3 and 4, Ahsoka, and more to come as well. And he's just like letting everybody see what Jon and Dave have in store on a creative scale and giving them a shot. And I think that at the end of the day also, we're going to see exactly what Jon and Dave are truly capable of when they have no obstacles to go through and no limits per se. So overall, guys, let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.